Truckers X TV on air. We are now live in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice. In the previous episode, we completed the first investigation of Turnabout Revolution, and now we're about to go in court, and we're up against Phoenix Wright himself for reasons I do not know why, but we're playing as Apollo Justice. We're up against our boss, Phoenix Wright, in trial. So does that make him a prosecutor in this case? But I don't know what's gonna happen today, ladies and gentlemen. So do me a favor right now and make sure to hit that like button. Your support is greatly appreciated. So let us begin on what's gonna happen. Loading data. Do not turn off. Come on, let's go. May 17th. 10:08 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 3.
Just so you know, I'm not going to take sides.
Message received loud and clear.
Good, because I don't like this one bit. You and Daddy should be on the same team.
Sorry, Trucy. Wow, she's really mad. I'm sorry too, little lady. This is all my fault.
I'm just worried things will never be the same between Daddy and Apollo. If they go through with this...
Is that all? Well, I wouldn't worry about that. That's the way it is with us men. We may fight, but we don't burn bridges.
Really?
Sure. 1 minute we're trading blows, and the next we're having drinks together. We're simple creatures at heart. Ha 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 ha. That's kind of true. Unlike girls, though. No offense. Guys may fight over the littlest things, but they'll get over it real quick. Meanwhile, yeah, right enough about that.
I'm sure I hope you're right. Sorry I'm late, Apollo.
Athena, there you are. What happened with you and Mr. Wright yesterday?
Oh, about that, I ended up going to the wrong airport. I was waiting there thinking his flight was really late, and before I knew it, I dozed off. By the time I woke up, it was already dark.
I figured something like that had happened. Being late and dozing off are the two things you do best.
Guilty as charged.
So then I take it you have no idea what today's case about?
Not a clue, sorry. What is today's case about, if I might ask?
Another locked room mystery. Oh,
another locked room mystery? A suspect with a flimsy alibi? Oh, a dying message?
Sorry, strike 3, you're out. It's a civil case.
A civil case?
You act like I'm speaking Swahili here.
It's just the Wright Anything Agency specializes in criminal law, or so I thought. In civil cases, there are no prosecutors, right? Instead, both parties retain an attorney.
Really? That's how it works? Right. And the other attorney is someone you know very well.
Really? Who?
The trial will begin shortly. Please proceed to the courtroom at once. Okay, let's do this.
Apollo, wait. Who's the other attorney? And where's Mr. Wright?
No time to explain. Let's go.
Okay. Right behind you.
But still, it's kind of like the same thing no matter what. It's just a civil dispute between two party members and their attorneys. Even without a prosecutor, it's still who gets what. That's the thing. It's like a divorce right there. Who will get the kids? Who will get the money? Who pays what? Day 1 is now in session. All rise. Court is now in session. Is this some sort of practice session? A mock trial, perhaps? No, it's not, Your Honor. It's the real deal, Your Honor. I can't distinguish their voices right now. So then you two have had a falling out? I won't have you using my courtroom for that, you know. It's nothing like that, Your Honor. Exactly. It's just so happens that we have different clients in this case. I see. Well, here's to hoping this has no adverse effect on your working relationship.
You can say that again. I had no idea we'd be up against our boss today. Are you sure this is a good idea, Apollo?
What? Do you want me to switch sides?
Honestly, I'd rather be anywhere but here right now.
Well, at least she is here. I'm really going to need her help. Mr. Justice. Yes? Don't expect me to pull any punches just because you're the opposing lawyer. As I said, the kid gloves are off. And come what may, they'll stay off. Same here, Mr. Wright. If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you'll get.
Yeesh, you guys are really chomping at the bit, aren't you?
I don't mind a good fight between co-workers. Just keep this civil case civil. Now then, if the plaintiff will take the stand, we may begin. You really... you're seriously on court. Noble judge, members of the gallery, good day to you. I am Paul Atterson. This is but the start of my epic campaign, and you all have the honor of witnessing it. I believe the youth of this country are our very future. Too long have they been looked down on and given the cold shoulder. So, to them I say, ask not what you can do for your country, ask what you can do for me. Mr. Atterson, what is the crazy contraption you're riding? It's my custom-made election-winning campaign mobile. Beautiful, isn't it? You're at a witness stand, not a campaign podium, so come out of there this instant. Fair? Thank you. Thank you, Air Judge. Alright, now, would the plaintiff attorneys, Mr. Wright, please explain the complaint filed against the defendant? Mr. Addison... what was his voice? Mr. Addison's complaint against the defendant is simple. Defendant 1. Dirk Sanmati stole my client's family heirloom, the Crystal of Ami Faye. Mr. Atterson merely seeks its return. This wouldn't have happened if that archaeologist hadn't kicked the bucket. I see. Well, Mr. Justice, let's have your opening statement if you would. Defense asserts the item in question is the Founder's Orb, a sacred relic from Kudain. Go on. It seems someone asked an archaeologist, Dr. Archie Buff, to study the orb. Dr. Buff determined that it was a Kudainese national treasure known as the Founder's Orb. The very orb that was stolen from a treasure room in Kudain several weeks ago. About a month. Why yes, I saw a news report about that. The theft of Kudainese national treasure caused quite an uproar in the kingdom. Well, we believe that it was not, in fact, a theft in the traditional sense, but rather that it was spirited out of Kudain by someone for Dr. Buff to study. You don't say. And? Around that time, an acquaintance of the defendant learned of Dr. Buff. He made contact with the doctor, who agreed to hand over the orb. Apparently, the doctor wanted nothing to do with it once he learned it had been stolen. It seems you even have a transfer agreement between both parties. Mr. Sanmati also agreed to return the Founder's Orb to the Kingdom of Kudain, once the doctor verified it was the real thing. I see, so this dispute centers on whether the item in question is the Founder's Orb or the Crystal of Ami Faye. That, in turn, will determine the object's rightful owner. I better bring my A game. Going up against Mr. Wright won't be a walk in the park. Come to think of it, the name Dirk Sanmai sounds awfully familiar. But I can't recall where I've heard of it. Oh, it's probably your imagination, Your Honor. He's just a tourist, after all. My imagination, you say?
Are you sure about this, Apollo? He's a wanted criminal in Kudain, isn't he?
In Kudain, yes. Here, he's just a tourist. Very well, let's begin the proceedings. Bailiff, would you bring in the first witness?
So is it still considered a testimony? Emma? Why are we seeing you? Show some manners, we're in court.
I know, it's just... this is a civil trial, so I was surprised to see a detective take the stand. I had her do some digging on Dr. Buff.
What for? You disappoint me, Apollo. First, you know I'm not just a detective, I'm a forensic scientist. Do you try to remember that? Second, you owe Mr. Wright an apology. After all he's done for you, you have some nerve.
First, I'm sorry, and second,
I'm really just trying to do my job. Either way, both of them will get paid. You'll never get anywhere with that attitude. Take some advice from someone who's been there.
Why do I feel like I'm on trial here? Detective Scott, your testimony if you please.
We see her too often now.
The doctor's dark secret.
The police have had their eyes on Dr. Buff for some time. And just today, a number of stolen artifacts were discovered in his study.
Stolen artifacts? That was really quick. Never mind, JK.
Among them were a priceless urn and a statue that were stolen from the Fae clan.
Okay, the urn definitely was freaking stolen. That I can guarantee. Because there is no way it can be in his study. An urn and the statue, okay. The statue? Wait, the statue?
I think it kind of looks familiar. It seems the doctor would do anything to study artifacts, including steal them. As for the relic at the center of the dispute, he'd likely stole it from the Addison residence at Tishon.
The doctor is a thief? Why am I just hearing about this now?
Well, cat burglar isn't something he put on his resume. He was more careful than that. But the fact is, he was a classic treasure hunter. A treasure hunter, huh? Like people who have thrilling adventures in exotic places, risking life and limb for glory?
I doubt Dr. Buff was the star of his own hit movie series, I found out. Out of respect for the dead, I will say that Dr. Buff wasn't doing it to get rich. Apparently, he only wanted to borrow artifacts to study them. He would then return them as soon as his research was finished.
According to the doctor's child, he would even repair or restore some of the artifacts he stole before returning them. He believed he was honoring the dead by discovering their history through artifacts. But whatever lofty ideals he held, it makes no difference. Larceny is larceny.
Yes, he certainly sounds no different from a regular thief. So let's say for a moment that the doctor really did moonlight in stealing artifacts. Might he not have stolen the Founder's Orb in Kurain and brought it back here himself? Nope. There's no record of him traveling overseas over the past few years. Plus, he couldn't very well leave his reclusive child at home all alone. Then this really must be the crystal of Ami Faye. Yes, he stole it from the Addison's residence, probably so he could study it. This is the left hook I did not need.
I bet you never saw that coming, Apollo.
Yeah, when Mr. Wright said that the kid gloves were off, he wasn't kidding. Mr. Justice, you may proceed with your cross-examination. I think all we have to do is press on. Cause what is there? Oh shit. I forgot about that part. Great. The dark secret. The police have had their eyes on Dr. Buff some time. We're gonna press. How exactly did Dr. Buff arouse the suspicion of the police anyway?
Chalk it up to good old-fashioned sleuthing. After investigating countless artifact thefts over the past 2 years, the police finally zeroed in on him, and the doctor became their prime suspect.
A number of those artifacts thefts occurred in Kurain village too, if I might add. And they started right around the time the doctor moved there. But he was never arrested. I take it there was nothing concrete linking him to a crime.
No, which is why we were never able to get a search warrant in the first place. It's hard to arrest an artifact thieves unless you catch them red-handed. Still, the police had him under constant surveillance.
Okay, and just today, a number of stolen artifacts were discovered in the study. We don't have to press on that. Among them were a priceless urn and a statue that were stolen from the Fae clan.
Hold it!
Were any other stolen artifacts found besides those belonging to the Faes?
Yes, for instance... Remember the large relief on the wall?
Yes.
It was chiseled out of some ancient ruins in the Kingdom of Kunai several years ago.
So he stole that?
Chiseled out?
Didn't that damage it?
Well, he did restore the parts that were so faded you could barely see them anymore. It seems he intended to return it someday, so one could say his intentions were good. But good intentions are no get-out-of-jail-free card, that's a fact.
If I might add, with respect for the disease, the quality of the restoration was apparently exceptional. It seems the doctor invested a lot of money in hiring extremely talented specialists.
He sounds like a good man. He took a wrong turn somewhere.
I guess Sarge takes after him in that way.
Any further questions? If not,
proceed. It seems the doctor would do anything to study artifacts, including steal them.
Hold it!
Had these alleged thefts been going on for some time?
At least 5 years, as far as we can tell. All the recent thefts have been local, but before moving to Kurain village, he had been stealing from ruins around the world.
Dr. Buff was an international criminal?
This data lends itself to be but one conclusion. Dr. Buff was a thief.
Last one, as for the relic at the center of the dispute, he likely stole it from the Attishan residence.
Hold
it! You claim he stole a family heirloom from the Attishan residence, but claiming something doesn't make it true.
Unfortunately, it is true.
How can you be so sure?
A police report was filed concerning the theft, 1 year ago in fact.
What? A whole year ago?
August 25th of last year, to be exact. The report states, and I quote, "The crystal of Amife was discovered to be missing. From the Attishan storehouse at 10 AM, the storehouse lock had been picked." Signed, Paul Atchison Wimperson.
Well, a year-old report certainly lends the plaintiff's claim credence. The doctor could really have stolen the crystal of Amife. Not only that, Your Honor, but the founder's orb was only found to be missing several weeks ago. That is nearly a year after the crystal's theft was reported. Therefore, I believe we must consider the orb and the crystal to be two separate items.
Paul Atchison Wimperson, not the most awe-inspiring tail end, is it? I see why you cut it.
Not that he inspires confidence without it, still, I'd probably do the same in his shoes. Robbery report added to the court record.
A police report was filed about the crystal's theft a year ago.
But the theft of the founder's orb was only reported a few weeks ago, so the crystal's police report was filed way before the orb was found missing.
That suggests the stolen relic is the crystal of Amife, as Mr. Atchison Wimperson asserts. I doubt the police report is a fake. After all, Emma is the one who submitted it as evidence.
Still, I feel like something we learned in that police report is important somehow. How? Let's figure out that last part and then...
Hold it!
Let's see if we can guess what it is. Are you blah blah blah. Can we move on? I don't want to deal... No thanks, that is for sure. Take the urn for example. Apparently, it's an extremely intricate work of art. Its design cracks and other features... Actually, I've had a few run-ins with that urn myself, so I was shocked to see it there in the doctor's study. I could say without a doubt that the urn was stolen from the Fae clan. I see. Detective Sharp. Okay, already got that part. Okay, what exactly are we looking here in the... It has to do with the report, right? Orb transfer agreement. A report file. The crystal bombing fake was discovered to be missing from the Atchison storehouse at 10 a.m. The storehouse locked had been the residence. Is it the residence that we're talking about? As for the relic, yo, it's gotta be. It's gotta be. Because it says about the storehouse and that's something I think it's what's the problem here? That's a contradiction. It says storehouse, not a residence. A storehouse is just like anything to store anything in. If it's its residence, it would have been...
Objection!
Nope, not it, not it, not it. That is not what I'm thinking. That's not what I'm thinking. Guess that is not what I'm thinking. Once saying, you got to know when to hold him, know when to fold him. Why? We're down to 4 now. The judges or they're singing. Because that's the only thing. The freaking. As the relic of the center of dispute. The key is within the report. Chris was discovered to be missing from the Atchison storehouse. The storehouse lock had been picked. Picked by what? This doctor would do anything to steal it. Among them were prices were earned and a statue. Let me look it up. I got nothing. I really got nothing. The only thing, it's a big old hint about the robbery letter, but I got nothing. Robbery report, statement 5, email. What the hell? Email. Let's see. I discovered the patterns, but have yet to crack the riddle. The apocryphal orb is the key. How is your reacher's coming log? How is this? Where's the date on this thing? Includes a research into the founder. Where to? Statement 5. Statement 5. Statement 5. Email. Okay. Okay, if this actually is the thing, then okay.
Objection!
I got no clue why, but okay. The doctor stole the relic from the plaintiff? Are you sure? Because that statement doesn't agree with a certain piece of evidence.
What do you mean?
Take a look at this.
What about it?
This contains an email from the doctor's computer. An email? In that little piece of plastic? It's a USB, Judge. I'm afraid I don't understand. Oh, this stick here can store all sorts of computer data. I still don't get it. Here, just look at this. Apparently, the doctor was reporting his research findings to a certain individual. Now, take a look at this. It's the police report Detective Sky presented to this court. You can see the plaintiff's legal name on it. Paul... Oh! P-A-W! P-A-W! Ah! His initials! Right. The plaintiff's full legal name is Paul Atchison Wimperson. Now, consider this. PAW 711. The email's recipient address starts with 3 letters. But where does 711 come from? PAW.
Ah! Don't tell me!
Oh, but I will anyway. The individual who hired the doctor to study the disputed item is none other than Paul Atchison Wimperson.
Wait, then that means...
Exactly. He wouldn't have asked the man who stole his family heirloom to study it. Okay, so how I got the first strike. What my thought process was, cause I don't know what Apollo was actually thinking, but when they showed that there's something wrong with the report, that was just like giving a big old hint. Me thinking that there's something within the report that contradicts her statement, where it says storehouse, where it says residence. And I'm thinking storehouse like somewhere not near where they live, as in freaking Attison's house, compared to a storehouse facility or something like that, not an actual residence. And the computer email, that really did not click in. Therefore, how could this possibly be the crystal of Ami Faye? Ah!
We never checked the doctor's emails. We couldn't even figure out the password to his computer.
The plankton willingly left the orb in the doctor's care so he could study it, at the behest of his benefactor.
Wait, then what about the police report? I have all the details of the theft right here.
It's probably for another relic, the real crystal of Ami Faye. He's just using the report as a way to claim that our orb is actually his stolen crystal.
Objection!
And how are you so certain that Pa refers to my client's initials? Maybe the email's recipient was a dog lover. Perhaps. So let's get to know your client a little better, shall we? Mr. Paul Attison Whipperson. Fair, I suppose shutting down detractors is all part of politician's job. Answer me this, Mr. Attison Whipperson. What is... What? Yo, if it's 7-Eleven, that makes sense. What is your birthday? My birthday? It's July 11, but what's it to you? Oh, I see, you can address birthday gifts to my office. But full disclosure, I only accept gifts valued at $1,000 or more. Why has everyone gone silent?
How can anyone be that self-centered? Alright, politician. Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton.
Did everyone hear that? He said July 11th. July 11th, or rather 7-11, matches the numbers in the email address.
Well, isn't he stupid?
Both the name and birthday are the match. Hardly think that's a coincidence. Wait, why are you sneaking little?
Looks like someone finally decided to join the conversation.
Would the plaintiff care to explain? I would like to say that is a quite what? Quite a thing, you've said.
All talk, but no bark.
Any other thoughts? No further comments. I stand by my previous statement.
Hold it!
You can't just walk away. Even politicians have to explain themselves in a court of law. I'm afraid I simply don't know how it happened. I can't possibly explain matters outside of my purview. Perhaps it was a mistake on the part of my secretary.
Oh, no you don't, you slippery eel.
Mr. Wright, would you care to respond? I won't argue your assertion. My client lent the treasure in question to the doctor and asked him to study it. It seems that much is a fact.
Now we're getting somewhere.
However, it has no bearing of the issue of ownership. How so? Mr. Attison, I fully understand your position here. You had to hide the fact that you sent the crystal out to be studied. Your family would have been very upset if they had found out. It's a family heirloom after all. You've got to be kidding me! Mr. Wright is well right, of course. But that he always is. That's why he's my lawyer. The crystal is a precious Atchison family heirloom and he has been for centuries. But Dr. Bob was so eager to study its proud heritage, I couldn't say no. I'd even tell my grandfather.
Objection!
But in order to win the backing of your so-called benefactor, whoever that is, you were going to give what you claim to be the crystal of Amife to the person. You were going to give a precious family heirloom away just like that? I was going to explain everything to grandfather later, honest. My client's grandfather is very proud of his grandson for following in his footsteps, and if refusing him would have meant dashing the dreams of his darling grandson, I doubt the kindly old man could have said no. Well, grandchildren are meant to be spoiled. That's what grandfathers are for. Your Honor, please. I mean, it's been in the family for centuries. My grandfather thinks highly of my talents as a politician. That's why he entrusted me with this very important name placard today.
Abe?
So, I'm sure he would have been okay with me using the crystal as I saw fit. He just put it in. That's his grandfather's name. Grandpa's spoiled little brat.
I think the judge is buying it, Apollo.
No surprise there. He's always going on about his own grandchild after all.
Excuse me, can I leave now, Mr. Wright? I believe my work here is done.
By all means, Detective Sky. Thank you for your assistance.
You're welcome. It's nice to testify at a civil trial once in a while. See you around.
The seat's effects have changed somewhat. Mr. Addison would apparently lent his family heirloom to Dr. Buff. Mr. Justice, how would the defense like to proceed?
Alright, now what? Apollo, let's hear what they know about this so-called crystal of Amife. Maybe we can find some inconsistencies in their statements.
Right. Okay then, Mr. Wright, if the item in question really is Addison family heirloom, then let's hear all your client knows about it. Of course. Mr. Addison Wimperson, please tell the defense everything you know about the crystal's origins. Alright, now then, listen and learn. And with that, we'll be ending off today's episode right here, ladies and gentlemen. Do me a favor right now, make sure to hit that like button, comment, performance. If you're new, viewer, and like what you see, click that subscribe button. This is X TV, and I'm signing out.